So this is going to be, ladies and gentlemen, an exclusive conversation. The topic for the moment is Hyderabad's next decade, opportunities, risks, and market forecast. I'll repeat the topic once again for you. This is going to be about Hyderabad's next decade, opportunities, risks, and market forecast. This is going to be a fascinating conversation. I'm going to be introducing our speakers over here. But first of all, of course, goes without saying, I'm going to be introducing our honorable moderator. He's an accomplished leader with over 19 years of experience in the real estate industry. Ladies and gentlemen, he brings a proven track record in driving business growth through strategic negotiation, business planning, sales leadership, and most importantly, customer relationship management. He combines deep industry knowledge with a result-driven approach, which is of course very important for any industry that you're part of. And he's also played a very, very important and pivotal role in supporting clients through the complexities of mergers and acquisitions. But for the moment, you all can clap and appreciate the presence of Mr. Kishore V, Managing Director, Hyderabad and Chennai, Colliers, India. Can you all please clap it up for Mr. Kishore? My next speaker is Hetal Kotak, Director, South Mango Financial Advisors Private Limited. Hetal ji is a business transformation leader with over 28 years of experience across domestic and international geographies. He has a successful track record of multiple business turnarounds and growth journeys, and he's an innovative and result-oriented focused leader on achieving exceptional results in highly competitive environments. Of course, he brings an entrepreneurial approach to work and has successfully spearheaded structuring customized solutions for his clients across the south of India. Please give a big round of applause for Mr. Hetal as well, please, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us over here. Very, very happy to have you. My next speaker over here, ladies and gentlemen, nearly 2 decades of experience. He brings expertise across key markets in Hyderabad, Bengaluru, Chennai, Visakhapatnam, and of course, Mumbai. Under his leadership, Ramky Estates has evolved from modest beginnings into a formidable and respected player in the sector. He is widely recognized as an industry thought leader, actively engaging with industry bodies and policy forums, contributing rights on real estate, regulations and policies. Please give a big round of applause for Nanda Kishore, Mudumbai Managing Director, Ramky Estates. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us over here. My next speaker over here is an Indian technology entrepreneur and has been successful in the Indian startup market tremendously. Please note the fact that in the year 2019, he founded and established the real estate company Era Realty and is working on high-profile commercial and residential projects. Ladies and gentlemen, he holds a BTech in Electronics and Communications Engineering and an MTech in Computer Science, IIT Kharagpur. Basically, brain in the right place, and of course, the right heart to complement that. Mr. Narsi, Reddy, Posham, thank you so much, sir, for joining us over here. What a pleasure to have you. My next speaker over here, ladies and gentlemen, has over 25 years of experience in the real estate sector with a focus on luxury residential properties, high-value land transactions, and strategic investments. He is dedicated to promoting professionalism, transparency, and most importantly, long-term growth within the fraternity. He brings a value-driven approach to leadership, emphasizing education, innovation, and client-focused solutions to the real estate of Hyderabad. He's also the chairman of National Association of Realtors India. Please give it up, everybody, for Sumanth, Reddy, Arani, President, Hyderabad Realtors Association. Thank you so much, Mr. Arani, for joining us over here. Bahut shukriya. My next speaker over here is an accomplished developer with over 3 decades of expertise in the real estate and construction industry. He is the immediate past president of CREDAI Hyderabad and as a member of various social and security boards, including the Telangana State Social Security Board and the Hyderabad City Security Council. Ladies and gentlemen, he champions absolutely incredible initiatives that enhance safety, inclusivity, and most importantly, community welfare. Please give it up for V. RajShekar Reddy, Managing Partner, Gayathri Group. Thank you so much for joining us over here.
Afternoon, Realty Plus. Thanks everyone for giving me this opportunity to moderate today's topic, which is Hyderabad's next decade, opportunities, risks, and market outlook. So if we just see in past 1 decade, what we have seen, Hyderabad has transformed as a global economic powerhouse. A decade back, the leasing was happening around 5 to 6 million square feet. Today we are talking about 10 to 12 million square feet. All thanks to the infrastructure, because infrastructure growth is much higher than the real estate growth in Hyderabad especially. So we have the outer ring road operational. We have Shamshabad, which has a traffic of almost 25 to 30 million every year. And the Shamshabad airport is expanding every year. So we can see the kind of attention that Hyderabad is gaining over and over years. So the GCC space take up in last 5 years between Hyderabad, Bangalore and Chennai put together is 100 million square feet. Of this 100 million square feet, this south, which is a part of Hyderabad, Bangalore and Chennai, 70% of the gross leasing across India, the GCC space take-up is between Bangalore, Hyderabad and Chennai. Last year also we have seen an absorption of 10 million square feet. Out of 10 million square feet, 55% is GCC space take-up. When we talk about the industrial sectors or the GCCs, everybody is targeting Hyderabad because has become a global economic powerhouse. So to start our panel discussion today, because we have eminent leaders sitting here and very experienced experts. So I love to ask a question which is common to everyone. So starting with Mr. Sumanth Reddy, how is Hyderabad market likely to grow in the next 10 years? What are the key transformational levers and cautious bottlenecks that will be most critical for Hyderabad real estate ecosystem over the next decade?
Thank you, Kishore. So Hyderabad, according to me, for the next 10 years is going to be very robust and strong, because fundamentally we have a great infrastructure, and the market is also more stable if you look at the last 10 years. Though we see some ups and downs, we've seen some ups and downs in the last 2 years, but in the long run, I strongly see a huge potential. We talk about, when it comes to infrastructure, we're talking about outer ring road, okay, and other things, the regional ring road and all for a very long time, and media has been covering it. And more than anything else, the one very important thing I see as an advantage for Hyderabad is the water security. Because we have 2 rivers connected to the city, because both the Krishna and Godavari are connected to the city, because if the city has to expand to a mega city, we need that first, because that is going to be the fundamental need for people, any city to grow. That's something which I strongly see as an advantage. And more than this, we have a lot of land around the city, and along with the infrastructure, which is like the outer ring road and regional ring road, which I mentioned. And in the recent budget, we see the bullet train connectivity coming to Hyderabad. So the 3 bullet train connectivity cities which are getting connected through bullet trains, right from Bangalore to Hyderabad and Chennai, Hyderabad, and then also you having Pune, Hyderabad. So, and if you look at the Pune Mumbai bullet train again, so it's more like an extension from Hyderabad to Mumbai. So that's also an advantage, and more than anything else, I think the highways are getting connected to Hyderabad. So I think I see a strong opportunity not only in the IT sector. I think going forward, even the manufacturing would be, I think, be playing an important role in Hyderabad in the coming times. Yeah.
Your opinion, please.
Yeah. Audible?
Yes, we can hear you.
Good evening all, and congratulations to Realty Place for organizing this 3rd edition of awards. Like moving forward, as you asked Kishore, the future of Hyderabad. No one dreamed of the Hyderabad will be like this, maybe not 10 years back or 12 years back. So it projects like, even from the last 7 to 8 years, we have seen Hyderabad, how it emerged, and the way that the potential created. Totally we used to depend on IT, but gradually it totally changed time to time, like more of investments coming for the manufacturing sectors and all that. That gives them more of positivity. And apart from that, the plus point of the advantage for Hyderabad is like regional ring road, outer ring road. So that outer ring road created more of opportunities. Like maybe traffic was the issue, but connectivity was much better after that. But provided seeing the opportunities, maybe time to time, depending on the policy making, the governments and all that, the positivity will be there. Maybe earlier we used to tell for the next 15 years, the Hyderabad market is really good for real estate point of view. Sometimes again, no, that's up and down and maybe no slow down or whatever it did come. Suddenly things like will change, the mindset of the people change, the policymakers' mindset change, and no, it gives a lot of maybe no ambiguity in what is going to happen. So for that part, no, we see Hyderabad still it has the potential, provided it has to be addressed well. So things like when everyone sees that when the things are happening, there will be a proper direction. The focus will be there from the policymakers, and maybe they always think of what the best we have to do. But once the things are on a positive mode, people will start enjoying the things. Even our builders also will start enjoying. Even though the money is coming up, and end of the day, how we can expand, how we can grow up, and how we can make more things and all that. But right now we have to see what the way the maybe momentum to be maintained, the future prospects to be maintained. And still the projections are there, the GCs are coming up, and a lot of investment every time now we'll be announcing the investments of in lakhs, not in thousands also. So that creates a lot of opportunity, provided how the government takes up the initiatives and how they plan the real Hyderabad. Maybe recently the government has made GHMs into three zones. And again, the focus like how the city has to be developed. Well planning is important. So far we have better infrastructure when compared to other cities and all that. Water is the issue that has to be addressed. More than that, the traffic is going to be a major concern. So that is the main bottleneck we have to see, and maybe moving forward, a city gives positivity and negativity. Every time we complain about Bangalore, saying that it's the worst traffic and all that. That's we started again in Hyderabad. No, that example people will be start quoting. So for that part, no, government has to think in what the way they have to address. And moving forward in 10 years, there is a potential of more positivity, more migration. Even no, there is a 47% of urbanization in Telangana when compared to any other thing. So people are coming. Even though earlier when the villages are doing good, people used to go to districts, and from the district population migrated to Hyderabad. So still there is an opportunity. The regional ring road is going up, and the more advantage of connecting of 10 to 15 districts in the periphery of the Hyderabad. So these are the opportunities that provided the employment generation is the main important thing, timely generation. For that part, government has to take a lot of, even that's where we will discuss on what is needed. Maybe every time saying everything is good, but not the thing. We have to openly discuss what is needed. So that way, moving forward, we can see still there is a tremendous scope for Hyderabad to develop as a city, as the the prospects it have, and the way it is evolved, and with the advantages it have when compared to many other cities. Thank you.
Thank you. Sir, your opinion about this?
Yep. Good afternoon, everyone. I think if I were to talk of risks more than bottlenecks, I think Hyderabad is running three major risks from a real estate perspective. The first risk, I would say, is a geographic risk, where bulk of your employment, bulk of your development, everything is concentrated towards the west. So it's a huge concentration risk. And what's also happening is it's also putting its load on the micro market infrastructure, and the entire market is getting lopsided. So I think that's a risk which needs to be corrected. And entire employment generation is only happening here. We are not seeing much of employment generation, particularly from the IT companies in the other locations, which is where I think the government has to play an active role. I would also say industry leaders, particularly in the IT sector, they also have to play an IT role. I am told in general the decision is taken by the people who manage real estate in IT companies. And since they all are staying in the West Hyderabad, their families are here, they only prefer West Hyderabad. So that should not be the case. So I think I felt rent arbitrage should come into play, and God knows why it's not happening. But I think now also because of this recent land transformation policy, I think more and more land parcels will open up in the other parts of the city, and we can see good quality IT development also, and that would probably encourage these IT companies. So I think concentration risk is geographical risk is one. The second is the product risk. I think Hyderabad is moving more and more towards super premium, luxury, super luxury, ultra luxury. I mean, you only define and coin new words. I think that is again another risk. When demand drops, and let me be very candid here, every business goes through cycle and so will real estate. So when demand starts dropping, the first product that gets hit is the luxury product. And I think that again, that trend, so developers, as RajShekar garu mentioned, should not get carried away, should not think that the good times will last forever. So product risk is again, I feel, one more challenge, large units, 5,000, 6,000, 10,000. So all these things, there has to be some kind of a moderation. So product risk is again another thing. The third, which is a much larger thing, is I would say economic concentration risk. So here if you see what's happening is 60% of employment generation is still from the IT sector. Hyderabad, barring pharma, you don't have any other sector which employs huge number of people. The rest all constitute a very small component. But if you see markets like Pune, Bangalore, or Mumbai, Delhi, they all have huge manufacturing units. And I think Hyderabad is lagging in that area. If you look at Mumbai, you know, Mumbai is into so many other things also. They are into manufacturing. There you have a finance industry, that itself is a huge. Then you have media, you have so many other industries which are there. Hyderabad doesn't have that spread. So there is an economic concentration which I feel again could pose a big risk. So if Hyderabad has to really evolve in the next 10 years, I think these risks have to be mitigated. Some correction has to happen. And most importantly, let me also tell you, because we have a fancy of comparing ourselves with Bangalore all the time, like our infrastructure is superb, brilliant and all that, yes. But let's also note, if I'm not wrong, Bangalore has 50% more cars on the road than Hyderabad. Okay, just imagine all those cars coming onto the road, number one. Number two, Hyderabad's infrastructure, we are only talking of mobility infrastructure. I would say rather roads only. Infrastructure is not just roads. There are so many other components to infrastructure which are not developed. You don't have a proper sewerage system along the ORR or any of these regional ring roads or anything. There are plans, yes, but nothing has been implemented. And water supply alone is not going to be enough. Okay. So I think infrastructure has to keep pace, and with the way the concentration is happening, the infrastructure is bound to crumble. And let's accept it. If Hyderabad has to really go to the next level of development, I think there has to be something really worked upon on the infrastructure from a more holistic perspective.
Thank you, sir. Narsi, sir, your opinion about this?
I think whatever we've been speaking, right, every city goes through all these risks and opportunities. But I see like there's a peculiar situation for the Hyderabad. If you see that as a risk, I think every of the developer knows, every of the buyer knows, every of the Hyderabad whoever is living knows that's FSI. I see like the unlimited FSI is a killer for the Hyderabad actually. See, we have a fantastic infrastructure, we have a great outer ring road, we have a nice roads. Because we have unlimited FSI, the recently when even auctions, right, the land prices are going up to 177 crore, 200 crore. And once you put a 200 crore, 177, 155 crore, the developer is forced to build a more FSI. But you want to build like a 6 lakh square feet and 5 lakh crore per 7 lakh square feet. Even tomorrow, the developer doesn't mind paying 200 crore, then he try to build like 7 lakh square feet in an acre, and that comes to the 2,000 rupees per FSI. And if you continue to allow that, right, because if you look at like lot of high rises are coming in and around Kokapet. And if that continue to go on, then the traffic congestion is going to happen in that part of the city. Then the city is not growing. If the FSI has been curtailed like a Bangalore or Noida or any other city, we would have seen Hyderabad has gone to, like by the time you would have seen high rises coming up in Sankarpalli, this side Shamshabad, Adibatla, in and around entire ORR, you would have seen the high rises coming up. Without correcting that FSI, I think we are going into a very danger zone. I think for me, that's the highest risk in Hyderabad. And as we see, right, one more thing, I think very soon we should start looking at the Hyderabad real estate as a Telangana real estate. Because the triple R is coming, then like more than 15 districts are going to be part of Hyderabad. Then if you look at right today, even the work from home, highest in Telangana, highest in Hyderabad compared to any other metro city. The reason I observe, like when I come from a Nalgonda district, when I come to my village, I see like still like every our house, you have a fiber optics, one guy is working from home. I say, man, your company has asked you to come to office, why the hell you are working from home? The answer is, yeah, they are asking us to come like at least 2 to 3 days a week. I don't mind sitting at my village and working. Then I can, whenever there is a meeting, it's a 2.5 drive to Hyderabad. By any district headquarter, you have a 2.5 drive. I come at 8 o'clock, I start at 8 o'clock, 10:30 I'm in office. Evening I leave at 6:37, I'm back at 9:30. And my expense, like my living experience in a village is much, much better compared to Hyderabad. And the kids are there, they're putting them in a nice school, like especially in Telangana, you have very good schools across the state. So that's one other thing we should see. The Hyderabad has to be expanded, like the real estate has to expand across the state. That to happen, your FSI has to be below 3. Then you started seeing the city growing. But unfortunately, the government started seeing they are also doing the real estate. For their functioning, they have to do the land actions. And to protect the land prices to be higher side, they don't want to touch the FSI going down. I think it's just like if government started playing into the real estate and for their advantage, their own schemes, I don't know how we are going to fix this issue. Then other thing I see, I think if you look at right, even if a luxury thing, when you launch a big projects, the people who are buying is actually the people from Abids and Lakdi Kapul, Banjarils. They are vacating the home there and they are coming. Very interestingly, recently when I started traveling from a financial district to Abids, the traffic is actually from here to Abids, the Banjarils is very high. Then after that, the traffic, there is no traffic. Because the floating population is coming towards the west and outside. I think that's actually need to be addressed by the governments. But if you look at the opportunities, right, one thing Hyderabad as a Telangana state has not done well, I think we all need to start focusing on the hospitality. There is a huge opportunity on the hospitality side in the real estate. But if you are living in a Bangalore, any weekend if you want to go and a 2 to 3 hours, 4 hours drive, you see at least like you have opportunity to go 15, 20 5-star resorts. You can go spend time over the weekend and come back. But Hyderabad, you don't have that. If I had to step out of Hyderabad for a 5-star resort, the number of resorts in and around Hyderabad is 0. The hospitality, I think there is a major role the Hyderabad city can, the real estate can play. I think that's where whenever there is some young entrepreneurs and somebody want to come into the real estate play, I say that, man, don't come into try to do an apartment or a villa project. Rather, you focus something on a hospitality. I think that's the greatest one. Other opportunity is the tourism department of Hyderabad. We have more than 100, 200 the fantastic locations where we can start investing a lot of our capital into the hospitality. Thank you.
Thank you. So just to add on what Narsi sir was saying, 2013, in fact, we have seen real estate costs of the residential flats at 3,000 rupees per square feet. Today it is trading at 12,000 to 14,000 rupees in Kokapet. People were scared to go to that location also that part of the time. Just to add to that, Hetal, if you can just from an investment banker perspective, what do you feel Hyderabad growth story would be in next 10 years?
Thanks, yeah. So look, a lot of the colleagues here have given a reality check on the reality of Hyderabad, yeah. So that was what I could hear. But I believe overall, if you look at the journey for Hyderabad in last 10 years or so, it has been about demand creation as an ecosystem. So in different pockets, demands have got created. Certain pockets, as rightly said, it's concentrated. However, what is the next decade going to be about? Maybe it's about structuring, it's about financing that demand and executing that demand, because demand has got created, it has really displayed the potential which Hyderabad carries, and that excites me. While there is, of course, a reality check, so I have to counterbalance that and bring in some excitement to the entire thing. So I believe there is a lot of optimism about Hyderabad. It's truly a ecosystem. It's extremely receptive to outside people coming in and getting integrated as a society, which is an important thing. Look, I have myself lived in 6 cities within the country. So I understand that reception here is very, very warm, and generally it's a genuine thing. So all of those things matter. To add to it, one of the statistics I was reading, and when you read that, you see that when you compare, let's say, the typical comparison, Hyderabad and Bangalore, here it is more family-led migration which is happening, whereas in case of Bangalore, it is more deferred family-led. So it automatically changes the perspective, but then affordability, which is a critical part of the reality checks that we were talking about, that's a barrier maybe. But other than that, the ecosystem is more conducive to the growth of Hyderabad. That way the ecosystem is already conducive. Infra is preceded, as you brought to the entire thing, but infra is not sufficient also, yes, but I think that's a never-ending story. Horse before the cart before the horse, it will continue, and India has anyway thrived in the midst of adversities. Whether we like it or not, it's been the case, so we are not going to stop growing. And the opportunity is there in terms of looking at from a fundraising perspective or liquidity and capital being available. Right capital is available for sure. Yes, there is now a bit of reality check from the investors and the lenders also, that they are also a little skeptical, and hence that is getting priced in the manner in which they are looking at the market per se, in terms of how are they looking at funding and how are they building the pricing within that in terms of the risk factors which is getting priced in. But otherwise, the potential remains. It's a cyclic thing. What goes up comes down, what comes down goes up. So there's an opportunity which is there, and the market has a genuine organic potential which is there. So which is what is exciting, and I enjoy every bit of it, honestly.
Thank you. So we spoke about luxury residential segment. Nanda sir spoke about that. So in continuation to that, so Hyderabad's luxury residential segment has been significant growth in recent years, attracting many HNIs, tech experts, startup founders, and GCC leaders. How is this likely to shape the next wave of premium housing in the city?
So I think, as Nanda Kishore rightly mentioned, right? So I think we've been primarily focusing on only one sector, which I think Hyderabad has always been doing it. So I think Hyderabad never tried to balance things. If this continues, I think we're going to be heading for a huge challenge. There is genuine demand as far as the buyer is concerned, but a lot of buyers today in the market are not buying because they're unable to afford the market. It is not that they don't want to buy, the sentiment is still strong, but I think real estate valuations have gone up. At the same time, most of the inventories that are there in the market are upwards of about 2,500 square foot. So which actually puts up a lot of buyers in the market. So I think this is something which Hyderabad has to developers and all the stakeholders have to keep in mind, that we are never rational, okay, when it comes to creating supply. Because we get carried away, because we most of the times we come up with projects, okay, looking at our peers or other developers, or we get into the peer pressure. Because if somebody is doing good, okay, we tend to think that, okay, we should also be doing the same. I think that has to change. And if you recently see, right, on one side, I think for the last 1.5 years, especially in the luxury sector, there's been every developer has been under extreme stress. But we still see developers keep launching new projects in the same category, knowing very well that the others are under pressure. So they had opportunity to actually tweak it. Go back, okay, to the drawing board, probably go back to the government, okay, so they could come with a different category of inventory in the market. But in spite of knowing that, it surprises me that developers still would want to launch it. Because what is happening is, because of that, the ones who already launched are under pressure. The ones who are launching are also under pressure. So now it also puts pressure on the deliveries also. Now, when the deliveries are also getting delayed, right, I think the investors' confidence will be hit. So these things I think have to be considered. And one more thing, as my other colleagues have mentioned, right? So I think the city should not be concentrated in one core area. So I think it has to expand, because as we discussed in the past, right? So we have a lot of land available around Hyderabad. So you see, if there is relaxation in the FSI in markets like Mumbai, it can be understood, because there's shortage of land there. So Hyderabad having 160 plus kilometers of outer ring road, okay, which is close to the city. I think we could have utilized it to spread the city all around. So I think one is restricting the FSI. The other thing is, I think we need to, if at all, even the government has to relax the FSI. I think they has to restrict to one core area. So if you look at any major cities across the world, right, there's one downtown. They don't have multiple downtowns there. So I think we should actually focus on one downtown. I think probably restrict the FSI in all other areas where you can do not only you can do, I mean, probably mid-size housing, okay. So at the same time, affordable housing also, because you need to earmark that. Otherwise, what is happening is now the auctions which have been discussed earlier are not only putting pressure on that one micro locality, they're also putting pressure on other micro localities because of the price here. If a Kokapet is selling at 150 crores an acre, trading at 150 crores an acre, it is putting pressure on the Kollu markets also. The Kollus have gone up beyond 50 crores. Now we are putting pressure. The Kollu, which was supposed to be a mid-affordable housing area, now has become a high-rise area again. Now when we are doing too much of high-rise, right, the FSI on land could come down. The cost of FSI on land could come down, but the construction cost is going up. Now if you see the average construction cost today, so is around about 4,000 rupees per square foot. And add the FSI to that, and add the cost of debt to that. So it is going upwards of 6,500 to 7,000 rupees on the developer. Now how can a developer give a product which is affordable for the average consumer? Thank you.
Thank you. So sir, my next question to you is on the same lines. So the western areas of Hyderabad has been seeing significant price increases. So what are the structural reasons behind this surge, and which housing segment have shown the strongest momentum, sir?
What's that?
So the western area of Hyderabad, which is like Kokapet, Neopolis, this part of the city, has seen an increase in the prices. So what are the structural reasons behind this surge?
Yeah. The western part always main thing, the growth is because of the IT sector. Beyond that, real estate is becoming commercialized by the government. So that's the main aspect. It is impacting the things and all that. So for that, we are seeing only 30% we have the ring road. In 360 degrees, there is like only western part, southwestern part majorly we can say it is focused. And the residential it is coming up over there, and maybe commercial part is also. For that, opportunities are more, and for that, the demand is created, and people have started becoming like more of the auction, Neopolis auction, quoting around 150 crores and all that, that totally killed the Hyderabad real estate market, which is like reasonable to the end user. So for that part, government has to start thinking. Everyone will start thinking like Hyderabad is unaffordable. But we can't see only the 30% section which is on the southwestern part and the western part majorly we can say. But beyond the other parts, 70% north, east and southeastern part, still there are flats available in the range of 5,000 to 5,500 max we can say. And now for that part, government has to think what the way it has to be addressed, what the way the people has to start buying the houses in the other part also. Even Ramky, there's a Nanda, they have a project in the Habsiguda area. So the sales are even a good project, the quality is good in par with the western part and all that, but still the buyers won't be giving that much price, and again the demand won't be there. So this is we can see even as per the analysis survey and all that, 30 to 40% of the people who are working in the IT industry are coming from the north and east. So for them, the government has to start addressing what the way they can create employment opportunities in that area. So this is where the major issue of western part just triggering the high prices, even though sometime, even as Sumanth was saying, the Kollur area is really quite affordable. Even at that time people started, when there was no market, people started and stopped construction activity. Now it has become a such that the area and again people coming out with high-rise buildings and all that. So it's again prices will be coming up and the land prices has gone up to 40 to 50 crores. So this is all giving some kind of negativity to the overall market scenario. Government has to start thinking how it has earlier there is a growth in dispersion policy was there. And now the government also has to start. Last weekend, I remember our property show which we have conducted in Eastern Hyderabad. We requested the IT minister to announce a IT park, even in the eastern part. See, a lot of people are coming from there, a lot of opportunities are there, people are staying there, and all the way without any proper transport convenience and all this are coming all the way because through metro or own transport. So for them, they can create opportunities that side. Even long back in 2019, when we organized the property show in Northern Hyderabad, we conveyed to the then Minister Kedia to come out with the IT park there. They announced even that's not happening now. Malakpet also they are not happening now. These are the places the government has to start thinking on and how the housing for all in need can be fulfilled. So only western part still we can say it is going in a wrong way. Hyderabad totally the growth depends on how they really address this kind of issues. And more of the builders will be with the present market scenario. If things going on, one part is prices are going up, even the no builder is getting benefited in that part. See, pricing is there high because of the high-rise buildings, and now the TDR issue has come up. Even the government has to think, why can't we go out horizontal expansion? Why can't we start something, even though we have the abundant land available across the region ORR. So we are not, even though sometime back I told to CM Garu also, he was once saying I am giving opportunity for the next 15 years announcing a future city. I told him, we are talking about the long term, think about the short term. So which we have to address well. The present need of the builders you have to understand and the present need of the people, what is needed for them to buy a house, where it is needed, that also it has to be addressed. Then I was saying even why can't we start thinking about the northern part? Genome Valley is coming up, lot of employment is being created over there. Around 50,000 employment they have now. Even some kind of housing is there that creates the opportunity for the real estate. And that also creates the need, addressing the need of the people who are working over there. And other part, affordable housing is also major concern. Government thinks and says something like 2,000, 3,000 acres of land and not required. Only 400 to 500 acres they can pull it up. And now they can develop the infrastructure and give it to the builder. Even Chennai Valley area, that also always I tell, there is also manufacturing clusters are coming up. Lot of mid-segment employment is there. Why can't they address that kind of areas? Why we have to think about the future city? Future city is very long, it is needed. But still before that, there are issues to be addressed. And for that part now, government, even now from our builders point also, we have to, even sometimes we'll be going to the government requesting some kind of issues what we are facing. But as an organization, we have to reach the government coming out with the policy initiatives where it is needed for the end user and not only for us, for the end user also, even for the people of Hyderabad and state also, how to the way it can prosper and all that. That way it has to come out and we have to work a lot on that.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. So, sir, when we talk about the government policies and all, so in your opinion, what policy and regulatory shift would help Hyderabad's growth beyond the existing real estate catchment areas and maintain its competitiveness in longer term, sir?
So I think the policymakers, hello. I think the policymakers have a lot of thinking and work to do, given where Hyderabad stands. I think it's a point of inflection where Hyderabad is trying to break into the next level of growth and expansion. If I were to list out few, one of the trend which is going to continue and someone was mentioning, the city suburbs have to really develop well. And today, if you see, one of the best way of developing suburbs is where you get large integrated townships or large gated communities, mixed developments have to happen in the suburbs. Now for that to happen, while we all agree that there is so much of land which has been opened up before because of the ORR, because of the RRR, but the fact of the matter is, when you go there, you will not find sizable tracts of land. Because They've all been converted into plotting. Today, if you want to have a 50-acre land parcel anywhere near the ORR or even near the RRR, lands are not available because fragmentation has already happened because plotting developments have happened. Now, it's a big question whether we should permit this or we should restrict plotting development only to certain areas. Now, this is a huge policy decision because in future you will not have those lands, large parcels to really do those kind of development. So that is one major policy decision which I feel. Today if you see the Vijayawada highway is the victim of such a thing that which has happened over last 30-40 years, where along the highway you have plotting developments and you don't have a large tract of land at all. Okay, so that is one major thing. Second thing, I believe central Hyderabad, I think we should have a redevelopment policy soon for central Hyderabad. The entire central Hyderabad has to be redeveloped. I think it has outlived its utility, and for the entire, as Sir was mentioning, the rejuvenation has to happen in the central Hyderabad, and I think that should go concurrent with the Musi redevelopment plan because entire thing is centered around those locations. So that is another major policy shift, policy decision that has to be taken. And the third thing, as Narsi mentioned, is on the zoning. I would touch upon less on FSI, more on the zoning. You cannot be having, all kinds of development everywhere. So I think zoning is something which is of paramount importance for a city to develop in a structured and a proper and an organic manner, which I think is missing today. And I know there are master plans, they are doing some kind of zoning, but let me tell you, all that is not practically thought through or seen, looking forward. So I think these are some of the policies which the government has to really focus upon if they really want to, make this city livable for the next, say, 30-40 years.
Thank you, sir. So, Narsi garu, my next question. So, as a technology-driven real estate founder, where do you see AI creating the most practical impact today? Land valuation, design optimization, occupier experience, or leasing activity or construction management?
Interesting question. I think before that, I would like to comment on the luxury homes. I think Sumanth was trying to answer it. But one interesting thing, right, whenever I come from a technology, whatever we do, right, we try to do a analysis and try to go and see that which market, which we can address it. But one interesting thing with Hyderabad, right, if you look at, I based on my study, like you have close to 15,000 families. They are like, still afford more than like 5 crore kind of a worth of a home in Hyderabad, right? I'm kind of, if you look at Banjarhills, Jubilee Hills, and some business families, traditional business families in infra, IT, pharma. And when you like all these families is right now is able to generate close to the 4 to 6 new houses in luxury segment. So that means there is a demand for a close to, like if you have 15,000 traditional families which are rich, and that could generate a close to 90,000 new homes. And if you look at the current Hyderabad real estate with where anywhere the projects are, like I'm calling it as the luxury means the apartment or a villa which is more than 4 to 5 crore worth. If I look at the entire Hyderabad for next 10 years also, we don't have that much inventory which is coming up in Hyderabad. I think that's one of the reasons, right? If you see the sales, even today, I'm not able to sell it in Kollur, but if I have a project in Kokapat, which are a super luxury like a Trump Towers, and every day, right, I get a, like without even asking, I get a 2-3 pings saying that, okay, can I have a flat in Trump Towers? I think I see like Hyderabad is one thing is missing is the branded residences as a true luxury. And one of my friend was while sitting, he was saying that what is the meaning of a luxury? I think luxury always doesn't mean the like it's a bigger space. It could be a super luxury, like today branded residency of a 200 square feet apartment for a 3 crore could be a luxury. My lifestyle suits that. right? So that's, I think, one segment of, I think I see it like next 10 years also, the luxury with the branded residences and more like a crafted homes would be the market opportunity in Hyderabad. I just want to just clarify to the audience if they have a conflicting thoughts on the luxury. I think that segment will very well do it in Hyderabad. And the other thing, the current question, right, the AI. I think there's too much talk going on AI. AI will definitely will help the design automation, right, design optimization. Because the AI will definitely, like tomorrow I was saying that one guy recently come and has been pitching me on a facility management, how we do we started handing over few apartments. Then naturally, right, last minute we realized, man, where is the facility management team? Then who are going to, because I don't have experience, I've never handed over a project. And recently we realized, man, we need to go and talk to somebody. Then like we were talking to 2-3 companies and they were started coming and pitching it. I say like, are there any facility management technology companies? So everything we started calling now X, right? Like anything, right? Today it's end with X. I was asking like, are there any facility or a property management X company? Then they were like looking at me like, what the hell you are talking? I was saying that in our like maybe in a decade, you started seeing your houses, your common areas is cleaned by or it's maintained by the robots. Because if you look at the technology, the way, right, today the technology, if you look at the AI, simple AI, right, if you are a technologist, it's not like too far, it's there in front of you. Because the learning algorithms are there. If I have a robot which has like 10 movements, like I can move head, I can move the legs, I can move the hands, it's like we call it as a 10 moves. If I am able to build a 10 moves robot and I make the robot stand there, I show how do I clean my washroom, like a bathroom, and how do I fold my like a blanket or a clothes. If I can show to the robot, today like I can ask the robot to repeat that job. Because my bathroom is bathroom, right? Every day it's going to be similar space. My bedroom is going to be the same. And my blankets are more or less same. If I can stand the robot there and I can go and show that and say that repeat the work, and robot is going to do much faster work. Similarly, construction. I show like today the lot of labor because India is going to have, even though we have so much people, but today if I need a driver, I can't find it. Today I need a maid, I can't find it. Today I need a construction worker, I can't find it. Everywhere we are going to see a short of the human power. I think this is the era where the technology is going to give technology means like even the AI or a robot or anything is going to give a free space to the human. One of the biggest inflection point in the human race, if you look at right, the industrialization of the last thing, whatever happened in 20-25 years, like when our parents was working, morning they wake up, they happily have a coffee, they read the newspaper, they go for a walk, they do the chit chat, they work, they come back and they relax. But any of us, right, we are running. We don't have a space to, like a time to spend with our kids, our families. Like we are dealing lot of trivial things other than your work of 6 to 8 hours. Then we come home and we do lot of trivial things. I think next decade, if you look at right, the technology is going to start helping you to take care of the trivial things. Then the human will have a space to do what a robot or as a technology cannot do it. Where robot cannot come and console or spend time with my kids. The same thing, the robot cannot come and spend time with a wife. I think the trivial things, the lot of these man-made, like the everyday routine things is going to taken over by the technology as a human, which we have to live. We can't like work. I think there's a fundamental difference is going to happen to the human race, and the human race will start going and spending time on the personal life, enjoying the music, enjoying the walk. I think that's where the human has to spend a lot more time.
Thank you, sir. I think the screen time...
On this topic for next half an hour, but cut shorting my
Yes,
discussion.
in fact, the generation has also changed. The screen time has increased. Kids are more on the screens now. Yeah. So my last question to you, Hetal. So with 25 to 30 million square feet of office, again, the supply is coming to city, right, in next 3 to 5 years. What new methods should developers and investors adopt to remain relevant in a highly competitive market?
So look, it's a consumer-led market, and parallelly there's also an opportunity to market what is the potential of Hyderabad. Market the potential of Hyderabad to people who are going to come and invest in Hyderabad. That I guess it's never enough. Everybody may have a view on that, but if you see recent movement of GCCs coming into Hyderabad, it's really exciting. It's really becoming something, and people follow each other. Yeah, so if two of the people like Google and others, if they are moving to Hyderabad and creating larger centers here, it automatically triggers many of the things. So those triggers have happened. It's about now about efficiently executing those triggers step by step and making it as proper execution of a strategy. I'm sure there's a strategy behind. I can't be a person commenting on it because I have no visibility on it. But having said that, there's a clear strategy visible maybe because it can't happen just on its own. A lot of effort would have gone at the back end to make it happen. The quality of construction and the quality of commercial spaces is anyway very, very good. So the infra is available, this is available, people, which is the critical part, which is where Bangalore scores a lot more because talent availability is a critical driver. So if you look at it within Bangalore also, there are certain micro markets which become so much of a bottleneck and concentration because talent is available there. But now that talent is also getting exhausted in a way, courtesy the challenges which they are facing, and they are now looking at mobility. And that's where Hyderabad again becomes a critical thing. So from a 10-year perspective, it might be a longish thing, but in a 3 to 5 year journey, whatever good steps have been taken, if they are sustained in terms of not significant changes, but in terms of just sustaining it in the right direction and make it more predictable, predictability is very good. We have seen of lately one gentleman came in and made the world a different place in last 1 year or so. And I'm talking the global guy, yeah, not the Indian guys. And we don't talk about it. He was talking about the brand and link to it. But yeah, so we need to be focused on what is there in hand and ensure that the strategic direction is sustained. Then the opportunity is there to tap. Definitely the entire journey is there. Yes, there's a little bit of a pause. Maybe Hyderabad was on a fast run, and this is the time to do a bit of digestion. It doesn't sound exciting, but it's a good thing to do actually.
Thank you for your insights. I think we had a great insight. We can speak for hours for Hyderabad growth because especially I love Hyderabad. So for next 10 years, I think for next 20 years, I think the story is there. And thanks for your insights. And yeah. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Stage. Ladies and gentlemen, we need to acknowledge by clapping out loudly for them, please. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to be calling up on stage somebody very, very special as well to present the token of appreciation to our speakers over here. May I please call Mr. Amit Baid over here on stage to kindly give the token of appreciation to our esteemed speakers. Ladies and gentlemen, can we have a big round of applause for Mr. Baid as well, please? He's the Honorable Founder and Creative Director of ABC Brand Advisory. Give it up for Mr. Amit Baid, and you can go and give it to him so that he can give the token of appreciation. And we'll do a nice group photograph with all of them over here. Hyderabad, it's a full house. People enjoying their tea, people enjoying their coffee. We're enjoying what we see in front of us. A bit of clapping will definitely set the tone right for what's set to unfold in front of us. Thank you for this incredible session. You added so much of value and insights, and I'm sure it's going to be helping all the stakeholders over here. We'll do a nice group photograph, ladies and gentlemen. And if not throughout, on a countdown of 1, 2, and 3, if you all can clap loudly, Mexican wave, everybody, for our speakers. You see the magic right in front of your eyes. They're smiling widely. All thanks to your acknowledgement. Thank you so much, all of you, gentlemen. We look forward to having all of you the next time when we do this. Thank you, Amit ji. Thank you, thank you, thank you.